All right. Hey, everybody. First things first, I want to thank the Irsay family, Chris Ballard, Coach Frank Reich, for an incredible opportunity, for believing in me and, giving me this chance to be a part of the Indianapolis Colts. I want to thank Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, Doug Peterson, all of my teammates and staff that, helped me tremendously in my first 5 years in Philly. Wouldn't trade those years for the world. So we did some amazing things there. So I just want to thank those guys for all that they've done. Thank you to my wife and my daughter and the support that they've had for me over the years. And obviously, as we embark in this transition, a lot of excitement for us, and we'll open it to some questions.
Carson, a year ago, I bet you couldn't have expected to be in the seat you're in now. In your mind, at what point last season did something like this become a possibility, and what were the steps that it took for this to become reality for you?
Yeah, that's a great question, and you're right. I mean, there's a lot of things in this life that we just can't predict. There's a lot of kind of crazy circumstances, not how you expect things to unfold, especially when you're drafted in a place like Philly. You have a lot of high expectations and everything, but obviously the year didn't go as we planned, as I planned, and everything that kind of shook out. But I believe that God has a perfect plan, and here we are, and we're excited. We're excited for this new opportunity, and hopefully to start building something special here in Indy, and be a part of something special that's already been created here.
Hey, Joel Erickson.
Hey, Carson. Howie Roseman kind of said that you asked for a fresh start. Why did you think you needed a fresh start?
Yeah, I mean, after the season, obviously a lot of conversations with my agent and back and forth and those types of things. And, it wasn't the ending that everyone envisioned, not how I envisioned it, all of those things. But, I'm not going to delve too much into those conversations. But obviously this is where we're at. We're excited for this fresh start and to be in such a great place as this. And so, that's really all I got to say on that one.
Hey, Carson. It looks like there's been a lot of Colts players mentioning you lately, and it looks like you got some work in with Michael Pittman and Desmond Patman. What's been your first impression of those guys, and how important has it been for you to get some work in with them already?
Yeah, ever since the trade announcement, whatever, a month ago, I've been in a lot of conversation, a lot of communication with a lot of my teammates. And for me, it's been pretty cool. It's cool to see the support and how welcoming they've been. And not a single one has said a bad thing about this organization and this area and this community. So for me, that's exciting, both for me and for my family. So guys seem awesome. Guys seem great. It was really cool to get down there in California and throw with Dez and with Pitt and get some work in. And I look forward to getting some more work in with those guys and the rest of the guys really all over the country. We'll see how this offseason kind of pans out. But, I'm looking forward to really meeting everybody in person and getting to work as soon as I can.
Mike Chappell.
Yeah, Carson, when all this was going down, it was always nationally, well, is he fixable, which is relative. If you need to be fixed, what needs to be fixed from last year? Were there things that just developed or devolved last year that you need to address?
Yeah, I think over the course of any year, I go back at the end of every season, watch tape and say, okay, what can I improve on? What can get better? And there's always little things. There's some bigger things. There's a lot of things every year that you're like, okay, this is what I want to focus on this offseason. So not to dive into details of that, but there's definitely things that, you watch and you say, okay, this is where I can improve. And I'm going to dive head first this offseason into improving those things, those areas of my game, and keep trying to become the best player I can be. Last year didn't go personally the way I envisioned it, the way the team wanted it to go, all of those things. But, you live and you learn from those things. And, hopefully we can be better next year.
Thank you.
Stephen Holder.
Hey, Carson. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, good. So, there has been a lot said about you, as Mike just alluded to, in terms of how you handled yourself. And I know you don't want to get into some of these things, but I wanted to at least give you the opportunity to at least say, what are the Colts getting in terms of a teammate? What have you tried to tell your new coaches and teammates about who you are and how you'll fit in, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to, showing that to my teammates and being a part of something special here. But for one, I'm a competitor. And, I want nothing but to win, and I know that's the culture that's been established here. And, I hope guys know, whenever our careers end or our parts, our paths go separate ways, that I cared about them and that, I'm going to be there for them. And so as a leader, as a quarterback, as a friend, as a teammate, all of those things, I look forward to building those relationships. And I'm not a perfect human being. I'm going to make mistakes. I've made mistakes in the past. I'm going to learn from all of those things and trying to be the best man, best, husband, father, teammate, quarterback, all of those things that I can be. But I won't be perfect. I'll tell everyone right now, I won't be perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. I have flaws, but I'm going to do everything I can to be the best I can be.
George Bremer.
Carson, welcome to Indiana. I'm wondering, on a personal level, what clicked between you and Frank Reich? What makes that relationship strong, and why are you excited to be back with him?
Yeah, Coach Reich, I'll never forget when I was working out up in Fargo, North Dakota before the draft, and he and Coach Peterson and everyone kind of came out, and it was just instant. It was an instant that we just had this connection. We're both obviously men of faith, and we were able to talk about, our values and different things. Like it was natural. It was natural. And then finally getting to work with him for 2 years, and not just the personal side of things, which we knew we had a great relationship with that, but the X's and O's of football and how we see the game and how we can kind of have healthy discussions and disagreements, but really challenge each other and ultimately make each other better. It was a lot of fun. And, I look forward that, that's something I'm super excited about, getting to work with him again, because I have the utmost respect for the man that he is, the friend that he's been to me as well, but also the coach that he is as well.
Kevin Bowen.
Hey, Carson, when you look back on last season, would you say the struggles are more physical or mental, or both, I guess?
It's a great question. And, I'd say it's a culmination of everything. There's a lot of things I wish I'd have back or could have done differently. But, at the end of the day, last year came and went, and it's behind us. It was a tough year. I mean, think about the whole world. Tough year for everybody. Here we are. Y'all aren't in the same room as me. We still can't, have normal life. It was tough just for personal relationships and getting to know people and all of those things. And then on the field, obviously didn't go the way we wanted as well. So there's a lot of things that just didn't fall into place, and it's frustrating. It's disappointing. But at the end of the day, like I've said, you learn from it, you leave them behind you, and you get better from it.
Dave Griffith.
Hey, Carson, I'm wondering what obviously it was a trade, so it's not completely in your hands, but what about Indianapolis was an attractive destination? Obviously, we know Frank Reich and your deal with them, but what is it? Offensive weapons, the line in front of you, defense? What stood out to you to make you just excited from a football perspective about this move?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much hit them all on the head, honestly. It's something anytime there's a trade, obviously, I have no control, so to speak, but working with Frank first and foremost, and what he's been able to do here, and what has the culture that had already been established here over the years, gets me excited. Obviously the O-line, the skill players, all of that, what they were able to do last year, and be right on the verge of something special. How close they came to come in and try and be a part of that. The area and the community. I think we've heard some amazing things, so I'm excited for my family to be a part of this community. And so there's a lot of things that we're super excited about and can't wait to really dive head first here in Indianapolis.
Jim Aiello.
Hey, Carson. Yeah, I know you're talking about some of the struggles in 2020. When you do look back on that and with some time to reflect, do you think the Eagles drafting Jalen Hurts had any effect on you or confidence at that last year? I don't. Jalen and I had a good relationship, and I wish the kid nothing but the best. I think he's got a lot of ability. I was impressed with how quickly he kind of grasped, the offense and really understood things, and how well he did. Obviously,
I would have loved to have been the guy playing the year out. There's no mistake in that, but that's not how it unfolded. And, I got a lot of respect for him, and, it's just the way it unfolded. There's a lot of things that had to fall into place for all these things to go down and for me to be here. But, I said it earlier, I'm going to beat it to death. God has a plan. He's got a perfect plan, and I don't, I can argue with it sometimes, but it ain't going to get me anywhere. So, I'm here, and I'm excited for this one.
Mike Wells.
Hey, Carson, you've talked about being a competitor and, how tough last year as a whole is. But how did you handle losing your starting job? It was just a couple of years ago. I mean, you were the face of that franchise. You were an MVP candidate in 2017. How tough was that to handle not being the guy anymore in Philly?
Absolutely. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It wasn't fun. It's not fun when, things were going so well for years and, all those things. And obviously the Super Bowl and all those things that happened, and not being out there on the field, having injuries, a lot of things that just don't know why things happened or why they went the way they did. And, as a man, you have to look yourself in the mirror and learn from it and become a better man, better player, all of those things. And so, yeah, I'm not going to lie. It wasn't fun. It was difficult. But I did everything I could to still be supportive of Jalen and my teammates. And, I have a lot of, really strong relationships with a lot of people in that building, teammates, staff, everything that I wanted to be the best I could be to help them. So I was going out there every day for scout team, even though it was weird, it was new, it was different, but I was going to give the best look I could. And I was going to compete and do everything I could to help the team. And, it wasn't the ending I, desired, but this is the path that we're on, and we're excited for this new opportunity.
Greg Doyle.
Hey, Carson, you get a fresh start here, and that includes all of us. But all we know is what we've read and heard, and we all know to take a lot of that crap with a grain of salt. However, you've been the guy that's been called different things, and you're washed up or whatever. You've heard things on the field, off the field. You've heard it. What is it like to be you and to have all of a sudden everything is under attack?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be honest. I didn't know I'd been called washed up yet. So that's
injuries. Sorry.
I don't read a lot of the newspapers or listen to a lot of the media stuff. I often find out things from people like y'all, family, friends sending me stuff. I tried everything I could to, once the off season hit, to just get away and spend a lot of time with my family and work out, get some hunting in, all of those things, just to kind of refresh my mind. So at the end of the day, I can't please everybody, and people are entitled to their own opinion. And, I'm not going to sit and argue and dispute what people say, write, think, feel, I can't please. I'll never win that game. And obviously you want everyone to view you in this awesome light and through this perfect lens, but that's not going to be the case. And so you take everything with a grain of salt and you learn from it and, try and be better next time.
Thank you.
Chris Hagan.
Carson, another one of those nasty rumors in the media is that you're a redhead. And as a redhead myself, I hope that's true. You identify as a redhead. But when you come in, as a face of a franchise, once again, with the position of quarterback, expected to be a leader, those relationships you talked about you had in Philly, how do you build those here one by one? Because that respect, as you know, is earned, not given.
Absolutely. That's a great question. And given the climate that we're still in, it makes it even tougher, honestly. And that's something that, looking back last year, one of the probably most disappointing things was just the lack of relationships that you could build, because we were doing virtual meetings. We didn't have an off season, all of those things. So when it comes to the environment that we're living in, you have to be that much more intentional, and you have to really dive into to create those relationships both on and off the field. And so I'm looking forward to that. It's obviously a challenge, especially if we don't have an off season. We'll see what happens with that. But either way, you got to just be intentional one by one, build those relationships. And like you said, respect is earned, not given. So I look forward to earning a lot of guys' respect. And, I'm confident that will happen.
Charlie Clifford.
Carson, we saw the jersey announcement with number 2. What went into that number?
Yeah. When the trade went down, I obviously reached out to Pittman right away, and I said, hey, no pressure. Are you married to number 11? He's like, yeah, I think so. And I'm like, all right, cool. No worries. I was actually number 20, believe it or not, in high school. Always loved number 20, but naturally 1 through 19 are the options at quarterback. So Going into college, I actually wanted number 2, but it was taken. So for 3 years, I was 11, and by then I was kind of married to it. So this, for me, I'm excited. I'm excited for a fresh start. Number 2, I think, is really in the back of my mind, back of my heart, always what I wanted to be. So we're excited to, and hopefully people think I look good in 2. If not, who cares? My wife does. So that's all that matters.
Howard Eskin.
There you go. Carson, good to see you again. It's been a while. Yeah, you're the genius now. But, touching back with the reports about people and their opinions of you, I've talked to Chris Long, and Chris says, I don't understand where all that came from. Where do you think the word that you didn't connect with your teammates, you didn't do the things to connect and be more a part of a team as the quarterback? Where did that all start, and how did that come about, and is it true?
Yeah, great question. And, it's something that anytime you hear those things, you want to play, the detective. You want to, all right, who said it, who did what, all those things. But it's like, doesn't matter. Like, whether someone feels that way or not, that's what's out there. So how can I learn from it at the end of the day? And, I think it's I've learned in this business and life, like, you're just not going to make everyone happy. As much as you want to, you can't. And so it's unfortunate that people have those opinions, but, I'm going to learn from it and try and be the best teammate I can be. And if any of my teammates out there don't think I was the best teammate, I apologize. I wish I could be better. Like I said, last year was tough for everybody, just building those relationships. But that's why I said, it's something that, given the environment that this world is in, it takes being very intentional. And so I look forward to doing that. And like I said, you want to play detective, but at the end of the day, people have their opinion. You do everything you can to be the best you can be. And when I lay my head on the pillow, I know I've given everything I can.
Thanks and good luck.
Thanks, genius.
Les Bowen.
Hi, Carson. I'll miss talking to you. I don't want to belabor this too much, but the narrative in Philly is, well, he doesn't want to compete with Jalen Hurts. The team is trying to rebuild, and he wants out. What is the situation there? Why did you want out so badly?
Yeah, I mean, for starters, like I said, there's a lot of conversations that happen at the end of the year that with my agent, with everybody, that, I'm not going to dive into the specifics on that. As far as being a competitor, I've never once questioned my competitiveness, but at the end of the day, this was outside of my control. And, I am appreciative of everything that happened in Philly, of, all of the opportunities. And, I know where I'm at today. For 5 years, I gave everything I had, both on and off the field. And like I said earlier, when I lay my head on that pillow at night, I know I gave everything I had. It didn't go the way that we all desired and wanted it to go, but I can sleep well at night knowing I poured my heart and soul into everything I had in that city, on and off the field, and we're excited for a new start and for a new opportunity.
But are you saying you didn't want to be traded?
Hang on, let's say it one more time.
I'm sorry. Are you saying you didn't want to be traded?
I'm not saying one way or another. There's a lot of conversations, a lot of things that kind of shook out, and as it played out, this is what went down, and I'm excited about it. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, we're going to go a few more. Jeff Skavrsky.
Hey, Carson, how are you?
Doing well. What's up, Jeff?
Nice jacket, man. I love it. Obviously a lot has gone on the last year, and it's been difficult for just so many different reasons. When you think back to when the Eagles drafted Jalen, how difficult was that for you internally, going, hey, I'm the franchise guy here. They just gave me a really nice contract, and I'm told I'm the franchise guy. Did that honestly hurt you there? And how difficult overall, how much of is there a level of sadness that it didn't work out at the end of the day in Philadelphia? And I know you're excited here, and Frank's a great guy and you had success, but if you could just take me back to those two moments, just is there a level of sadness, and was it difficult at the end of the day when they did draft Jalen, when you're supposed to be the guy in your prime?
Yeah, I said it, last year after they drafted him. I trusted Howie. I trusted Howie and the ownership there to make the best decisions for the team. And they had shown me nothing but confidence and trust, from day one, really coming up to get me at pick 2. And, so for me to start questioning them after, so many years and a new contract, all those things, it just wasn't right. So, I trusted their decision-making, and I don't think that, had influence on me one way or the other. The season just didn't go how we wanted it to go. And then to answer your second question, yeah, it is bittersweet. When you're drafted by a team, everyone, desires, I'm going to play 20 years and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z and win all these games, all that stuff. That's what you desire. That's what you have in the back of your mind. But, things unfold, they go differently. It's a different day and age. And, we're excited for a new start. And it is bittersweet, leaving Philly this morning and getting on a plane to come down here is kind of a final goodbye. But, it's an exciting journey for not just me football-wise, but for my family as well, and to, start over.
And can I just follow up real quickly, please? Was there a moment, Carson, where you felt that maybe it just was it in Green Bay? Like, was there just a moment where you felt like, you know what, maybe it's just time for a fresh start? Was there a moment?
Green Bay was probably the moment that I realized, this might not be it. When anytime you're pulled, you don't know what's, am I going to go back out next week, next drive? Like, I had no idea. And so all of those things go through your mind, but try and not overthink it. Try and just be in the moment, do what I can. Obviously frustrated to not be playing, but at the same time, trying to be there for my teammates and do everything I can to help the team win. And, but yeah, those thoughts definitely, creep in once you're benched, and that's just how it unfolded.
Thank you, Carson. Best of luck.
2 more. Dave Griffiths.
Oh, hey, Carson. You talked earlier about building relationships with your teammates. I wanted to ask about building relationships here in the community. I know a big way you did that in Philly was through your foundation. Could you tell people here what that's about and what you hope to be about here?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started the AO1 Foundation, stands for Audience of One, after my rookie year, actually. And so we've got 3 different ministries. We have hunting and outdoor opportunities for kids really throughout the Midwest. We have a sports complex that is partially built and continuing to be built in Haiti as well. And then we have a food truck that goes around and gives out free food in the Philadelphia area as well. And all 3 of them are Christ-centered. And, we're going to tangibly offer something, an experience or an opportunity or a meal, but we're going to also offer Jesus, offer hope to everybody, and share the gospel and all of those things. And so it's super cool. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what's near and dear to my heart. And we've had a lot of conversations internally. My older brother, Zach, he actually, runs the foundation and is in charge. And, we've had a ton of conversations, me, him, my wife, and everybody. And how are we going to get hands-on in this community? Where's the need at? Where can we help? Where can we plug in? And so it might take time to kind of, work through those things and figure that out. But it's something definitely, once the trade happened, we said, all right, let's start to find ways to get involved in this community. Heard nothing but great things about the community and would love to give back and help out where and when we can.
All right, last one, JJ.
Hey, Carson, welcome to Indy. I want to go back to what you were talking about with Coach Reich back in 2017. How did that, seeing the game the same way as him and having those healthy discussions, how did that kind of allow you to have that season you had that year?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that played in our advantage that year. Things were going right for starters, but just working with Frank was going really from year 1 as a rookie, just trying to learn everything. Obviously, I was thrown into the fire pretty quick. To year 2, having an off season where we could really kind of put our minds together and figure out what I like best, what he likes best, how we can maximize what our offense is able to do. And just seeing that game through his mind and him seeing it through my eyes, I thought was really cool. Obviously, as a I don't know how many years he played, but for however long he played the position, he gets it. He gets it as a player. He understands our perspective. He understands a quarterback's perspective more than anything. And that always helps. That always helps when you're building those relationships. And to be honest, Coach Peterson was the same. He understood what it was like to to be a player and process as a quarterback. So working with both of them was a lot of fun, and it was obviously a special season that for me personally ended not the way I wanted to on the field, but as a team, it was a special year that we'll never forget.